this time, I'd like to call to order the Monday, October 20th, 2025 Currituck County Board of Commissioners. I will say at 4:30, we had a work session discussing possible electoral districts. And at this time, I'm going to ask Reverend Tony Wood to come and share an invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if everyone would please stand.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we are privileged to come together as a county to make decisions for the people of Currituck. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to discuss issues concerning our community. As we deliberate, may your guiding hand be upon us and help us to make decisions that will reflect integrity and justice. Help all, O God, who are involved to speak and lead with wisdom and compassion, ensuring that all actions will reflect your will. Remind us that we are all stewards of this community and we are all entrusted with the responsibility to lead with truth and humility. We thank you for our leaders. O God, ask for your mighty blessings to be upon each and every one of them. We ask this in all of our prayers in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
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 Pledge
I
allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I was waiting for you, Paul.
Well,
We were waiting for you.
let me say what a pleasure it was to have you here. Come back again.
Thank you. I'd stay, but I get to be blessed by the wonderful folks at the Benjamin House tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be safe. Thank you. At this time, typically our attorney reads the ethics awareness conflict of interest, so I'll read it tonight. Pursuant to General Statutes 153A-44, a commissioner has a duty to vote on matters coming before the board, but may be excused from voting on issues involving the commissioner's own financial interest, official conduct, or on matters in which the commissioner is prohibited from voting under General Statutes 14-234 or 160D-109. In accordance with Chapter 2, Division 3 of the Currituck County Code of Ordinances, it is the duty of every commissioner to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearances of conflict. Does any commissioner have any known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before the Board of Commissioners in this meeting? If so, please identify the conflicts or appearance now. Anyone? Hearing none, we will move on to approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion? I think we have to.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we remove item 12, ordinance creating the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, from new business and revise the closed section motion to contain only the discussion pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A4 to discuss matters related to the location or expansion of business or industry within the county.
I second that.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
You said, you said 12, we're just striking 12?
Yes.
There's some conflicting language in it.
Errors.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next item of business is public comment. We have a couple of folks that signed up this evening. First, we have Steve Hedrick, and as always, when we do public comment, we ask that you state your name and your physical address for the record.
Evening Board, Steve Hedrick, 296 Summit Farms Trail, Moyock. My question tonight is on the Moyock Regional Wastewater Treatment Facility. I went to T11's website, saw that they do have the contract for the design of that. They were supposed to meet that milestone in September of 25 for a 30% design completion. My curiousness is, have they met that goal? And if so, great. If not, why not? And they're also to meet 60% design completion November 25, and are they on target to complete that as well? And obviously, we have an estimated construction date at 2026 and completion of 27. I would also ask the board, I'm not sure who is in charge of the website, but to please update the website for these important things for the county citizens to understand where we stand with our Moyoc septic. The only thing I found on there was an RFP data from 22 in order to submit to asking for bids on that. Also, the TA11 website only shows progress update of May of 2025 on their website. So I'm hopefully that they're behind and they've met their milestones. But Curiosity just wants to ask are we still on target with what we're trying to accomplish with this county and our wastewater treatment? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I believe you can give a report with the manager's report on that tonight, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Or if you'd rather do it now, it's up to you.
I'll wait if
Okay.
that's-
We'll do an update at the manager's report. Next, we have Kyle Rust.
My name is Kyle Rust. My address is 1077A Northside Road. That is in Pasquotank County, but my matter does revolve around Currituck. So I am the current president of the Currituck Ruritan Club, and in the springtime I asked if one of you guys could be a judge for the first annual Zone 1 Currituck Ruritan Club's Chili Cook-Off Social. It's a big title, and I'm working on shrinking it. But the second annual is coming up next year in February 21st to be exact. I am here once again looking for a judge. If you can't make it, that's fine. But I do already have one from the police department. My goal is one from the police department, one from the fire department, one from the county commissioner. I will send my email to the secretary if anyone has any interest in that. It will be on the 21st between 12 to 1 at the Scarborough Ruritan Club on Scarborough Road. I don't know the exact address. I can find that out. Any questions?
Just a suggestion. You can go ahead and send the clerk an email, but I would send us another email as you're getting closer, like towards the end of December.
Right.
When we start planning stuff for the next year. So maybe one of us can make sure we're there this year.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you very much. That's the last person I had signed up for public comment. Is there anyone else that didn't have an opportunity? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public comment and move into new business. But before I do that, I do have to do this. I do have to recognize we have a young man in our audience tonight, Kyle Lambroff. He is going to school, and I believe you're going to study government and government finance. And he wanted to come to a commissioners meeting tonight, and he's there with his grandfather and his lovely wife, Mr. Tony Lamb, who actually I think 3 of the commissioners up here were his students at Currituck County High School. He's very fondly thought of by me and most everyone that ever had him as a teacher. And we definitely tried his patience, but he made it through and he's still here. So welcome, and we're glad to have you here this evening, both of you. And at the end of the meeting, if you'd like to get a picture with the board so you can prove that you were here, we will definitely accommodate you. So welcome. New business, Currituck County ground lease with North Carolina Resource Commission. That would be, I guess tonight is going to be on you, Madam Manager.
Yes, sir.
All right, so this evening you have consideration of a ground lease with the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. This is a 30-year lease, and on page 30 of your agenda packet is an exhibit of the property, but this is a piece of property that is adjacent to the Wildlife Education Center in Corolla. It is the sound side portion of the property. This was initiated by the Board of Commissioners several years ago to lease this property. There was formerly a boardwalk located on the property that extended out to the sound that is in disrepair, and part of it was removed. But the lease had to go through the state property office process and has been lengthy, but is on the agenda tonight for your consideration.
Question.
Yes.
Do we have specific plans for that piece of property?
At this time, we do not. No. The original intent was to create sea to sound connection, but at this point, we do not have any plans for the property.
Okay, thank
Did
you.
you say it was a 30-year lease
That's correct.
for $1?
That's correct.
Can't beat those terms. All right, any further questions? If I have none, could we have a motion?
I make a motion for approval.
We have a motion for approval from Commissioner Payment,
I'll second it.
second from Commissioner Jarvis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Item 2, resolution, Operation Greenlight for Veterans.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For your consideration this evening, we have a resolution supporting Operation Greenlight for Veterans. This is the third year, I believe, that the board is supporting Operation Greenlight, and it is recognizing men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. As we approach Veterans Day in 2025, the board declares Currituck County a green light for Veterans County and recognizes Veterans Day on November 11th, 2025 as a time to salute and honor the sacrifice and service of men and women in uniform. So as part of that observance, we will display green lights for Operation Greenlight at this facility and at Public Safety, and encourage citizens to light up their own home or business with green light as well.
Comments?
Yes.
This was part of NCACC's initiative. That's the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. As part of the focus for the Veterans Battlefield, the struggles that many of our armed service members have in that transition from armed services to civilian life. And it does bring awareness to that struggle that many of our veterans have. It was part of that initiative that we began Operation Greenlight. It was also part of that initiative that we, as a board, pushed for the hiring of our veteran service officer. And I just think it's important. And I would ask the county manager to please make sure to share a picture of our green light with NCACC. They publish all the counties that participate in their monthly and quarterly newsletters. So I would ask that we participate in that as well. Thank you.
Any further comments or questions?
I was going to say, we just have such a huge veteran population in the county. I'm glad that we participate in this, and it's a good thing.
All right, we have a motion for approval.
Mr. Chair, I move that we pass the resolution for Operation Greenlight.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Next item is item 3, resolution, Corolla Light Community, celebrating 40 years of the Corolla Light Community Association. I'm going to read part of it briefly. In 1985, the Corolla Light Community Association was established with the mission of fostering a vibrant, welcoming, and sustainable community along the treasured shores of Corolla, North Carolina. Whereas the Corolla Light community has grown into a model coastal community distinguished by its thoughtful planning, award-winning amenities, and commitment to preserving the natural beauty and cultural heritage of the Currituck Outer Banks. And whereas for 4 decades, the Corolla Light Community Association has provided invaluable leadership, stewardship, and services to its residents, guests, and the wider Currituck County community. And whereas the success and enduring legacy of Corolla Light is due in large part to the vision of Dick Brinley, whose foresight and planning helped shape Corolla into the exceptional coastal destination it is today. So Mr. Brinley's vision emphasized harmonious development, environmental preservation, and quality of life, setting the standard for responsible coastal growth in Currituck County and beyond. His influence can be seen not only in the physical layout and design of Corolla Light, but in the spirit of the community that continues after 40 years. So therefore, it be resolved that Currituck County Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize and celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Corolla Light Community Association and honor Dick Brinley for his transformative contributions to the Corolla area. And let it be further resolved that the board extends its deepest appreciation to the Corolla Light Community Association and its members for 4 decades of community service, excellence, and dedication to enhancing the life of Currituck County, adopted this 20th day of October. The reason I wanted to read some of that is Corolla Light really set the pace for the Currituck Northern Outer Banks. And Mr. Brinley was truly a visionary when he developed the Corolla Light Association. So I wanted to read that because we have a lot of people here in the community that don't know who Dick Brinley was or what the Corolla Light, but our Outer Banks is the crown jewel that it is because he set a high standard that others had to follow. So
They
we
do
have a motion.
They do a lot in the community as well. They actually attended community night Saturday at the high school for the sheriff's office. They had a table there from Corolla Light and representatives.
So we need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, ordinance amendment meter tampering, section 1319. That would be the county manager.
Thank you. So this will kick off many ordinance revisions for this evening. So the first revision before you is amending section 13-19 of the Code of Ordinances to eliminate extra fees for meter tampering. Under general statute, a county may adopt adequate and reasonable rules to regulate public enterprise belonging to or operated by it. However, meter tampering is explicitly criminalized under state law. Therefore, a local penalty addressing the same conduct exceeds the county's authority. And therefore, we would be removing it from the Code of Ordinances as well as from the master fee schedule, which is on the consent agenda this evening. So you'll see in section B, part B of section 13-19, there's some language that has been stricken.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion.
Move for approval.
Have a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5 is ordinance amending the Animal Services and Control Advisory Board, removes experienced professional board member requirements, and clarifies compensation and appointment method.
Yes, sir. So that was a lovely summary. Thank you. So yes, we are removing some of the more specific requirements for the board, as well as changing the appointments to consensus appointments. There's also a revision to the compensation of members, which identifies that the compensation will be found in the salary and compensation resolution rather than the master fee schedule.
That'll make it, actually, I sit on that board, that'll make it easier to fill the seats for the shelter, because I think we still have to replace 2 more in the next.
And I think when we first started this advisory back in the day, we were trying to get certain things accomplished, and it's that we're there now, so we don't need to.
Yeah, we blame it on Owen. He's not here to.
Any further questions?
Move for approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6, ordinance amending the Fire and EMS Advisory Board, revises member composition and terms of service, clarifies compensation and meeting frequency.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I should have clarified as well, this will be the first reading for each of these amendments. There will be a second reading at the next board meeting.
And that's because we need a full majority board to, and we're missing.
It's got to be unanimous.
That's
Okay,
correct.
Yeah, just for the people that are out there, may not know what to explain why, that yes.
Right, so on the first reading, it has, yes, so, because the full board is not here, yes, we'll read it.
So at the second reading, can
There's
they
that-
all be
we-
combined into one item? Or do we have to go through each item again?
I will have to consult with the county attorney,
Please do so.
yes.
Yeah, we can combine, that'd be better.
And then it's just a simple majority at that point.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I do want to point out, and I think it's okay for you all to move forward recognizing this if you would like to, but I did notice that the board is still titled the Fire and EMS Advisory Board. Is your preference for it to be called just the Fire Advisory Board?
Correct.
Okay, so there are several places within the revision where it's still referenced as the Fire and Emergency Medical Services Board. So when you make that motion, if you'll just
Say, so it's just going to be a fire advisory board.
correct,
So FAB, not FIAB.
correct.
Gotcha.
It's just the fab.
Just a FAB, like the
We
Fab
won't have
Five.
to do a majority, I thought, with a revision, then, what you're saying.
You could go ahead and make that, I believe you can make that
Change
change
tonight.
tonight, and
then
yes,
vote on it, and then, okay, yeah.
correct, yes. I believe that's correct. All right, so under composition, the composition will be revised to include 5 voting members that will be department chiefs. I also believe that you all requested for that individual to be the chief or the assistant chief.
That's correct.
Correct, okay, so we'll have to make that note as well. Section 2-121, it states chief or their designee, rather than assistant chief. So there will be the chief or the assistant chief from each of the volunteer fire departments, as well as the chief of fire and EMS, who will be a non-voting member, a board member who is a non-voting member, and the manager or designee who is a non-voting member.
So there will be with a commissioner on that, well, I sit on that one right now. These are the two that I sit on, the first two. Will I have a vote or no?
No.
Okay, good.
Yes,
You should keep them in order.
Because I did currently, or previously.
There's only 5 people that have a vote, correct?
correct.
Okay.
So for clarification, it says they'll meet quarterly. However, I think once we adopt this tonight or whenever it's official, they need to go ahead and start meeting if they need to meet once a week or once a day
So
or
minimal-
whatever.
Minimal quarterly.
Yeah,
Sure.
to go
Yeah, 'cause-
ahead and get up and get running.
While we were restructuring this, we've actually canceled probably the last few.
Yeah.
Didn't we say at a minimum, like we put
Minimal
it
quarterly.
as
Minimum.
needed, but at a minimal quarterly?
Isn't that, this sounds written, right?
And it does say that you can hold special
That's
meetings.
it, yeah, it's
Right.
not locked into quarterly,
Right.
it's just a minimal.
Yes, so shall hold a meeting quarterly, but yes, you can hold a meeting.
I'm just giving the county
Yes.
manager encouragement to go
Understood.
ahead and get this started as soon as we get it adopted.
Can we
Yes.
add words in there to clarify that you can meet more than quarterly?
I don't think you
What's
need
there?
to.
It says special meetings may be held.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slash
special?
daily.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. Any further questions? We need a motion for
So
approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a
Or go ahead.
motion that we change the verbiage on item 6 to ordinance amending the fire advisory board and then strike the EMS portion and make a motion for approval.
We have a motion.
Second?
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, ordinance amending the Historic Preservation Commission reduces terms from 4 years to 2 years to align with everybody else, I guess.
That is correct, yes. So each member will serve a term of 2 years for 3 consecutive terms.
And that's the only change.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone have any questions? Hearing none, we need a motion for
Move for approval?
Have a motion?
Second.
Second.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Trying to get you a second.
Third.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
We don't
Item
like history.
8, Ordinance amendment, Ocean Sands and Crown Point Service District Advisory decreases number of members and clarifies compensation.
Yes, so this amendment is for Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 9 of the Code of Ordinances, and it is changing the composition of the Ocean Sands and Crown Point Stormwater Board from 7 members to 5 members, and also is revising the language in 2-244 to reflect that compensation will be delineated in the salary and compensation resolution.
Now, this particular board with Ocean Sands is not a part of the settlement agreement that's regulated. This is an additional board that's been added since then.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir?
I guess there's an issue with the
Yeah,
live
the
streaming
live
or
stream's
something.
not up.
The live stream's not working. I just received a message from somebody.
Or this is not being live streamed?
I just got a message from somebody.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna go work on it,
Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry.
but,
Yeah, we thought
I just wanted to let you
it
know.
yeah, thank you.
Well, there's been internet problems
Yeah.
throughout
was. Weather has
everywhere.
been- I've had a lot.
All
around
right.
the county.
Need a motion for approval?
So moved.
I have a motion,
Second.
second.
Third.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 9, ordinance amendment opioid advisory board, decreased number of members, change appointment methods, and clarifies compensation.
Yes, thank you. So as with the Ocean Sands Stormwater Board, this is reducing the number of members from 7 to 5. And also, this board was previously, there is one additional change, that board members will be appointed by consensus. And then this advisory board, when it was created, did not include a section that addressed pay for meeting, and so that is added to this ordinance as well.
And
Ms.
I think it's important to understand that kind of like the Animal Services Board, when we created it, we're treading on new ground and uncertain, so this just makes it more consistent with what we currently do. And Mr. Chairman, I would move for approval.
Can I ask a question first? I'm sorry.
Well, we got a motion, let's have a second.
Draw my motion.
Okay,
Go ahead,
Questions?
Commissioner Payment.
I just want to clarify, the pay structure is going to be in line with all the other boards. Is that correct? $50 a meeting? Is that
Yes.
okay? That
And
my
I was just
question.
going to ask, so is it a 5-person board, including, I know Commissioner Jarvis sits on that at this time, so
5 voting members. I'm not a voting member.
you're not, okay, I didn't know if you were a voting member on, okay. So it's 5 and 1.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I would move for approval.
okay, we have a motion for
Second.
approval again, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 10, ordinance amendment, Tourism Advisory Board, clarifies compensation.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So the Code of Ordinances currently includes within the section that describes compensation that members will be paid a sum of $50 per meeting. There's strike through that section, and to make it consistent with the rest of the ordinance, it refers to the salary and compensation resolution.
All right, any questions?
I make a motion that we approve the ordinance amendment clarifying compensation for the Tourism Advisory
We
Board.
have a motion for approval,
Second.
second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Bless
Excuse
you.
me. Motion carries. Item 11, ordinance creating the Corova Beach Road Service District Advisory Board.
All right. So this ordinance amendment actually creates and codifies the Corova Roads Service District Advisory Board in the Code of Ordinances. It was previously created by resolution. Our goal is to have all of the advisory boards codified in the Code of Ordinances. So the advisory board is created, and the composition, appointment, terms of office are all described within the section. There are really no changes except for the advisory board requested that the representative of the fire department be further defined as the chief versus a representative of the department, which you all have agreed to and is reflected in the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask two questions?
You sure can.
So the board makeup is when we had this, what's the total? Does that include the sheriff designee and the fire chief and 5 vote? 2 are just, that was correct.
The fire EMS and sheriff's office
Designee.
representatives are non-voting.
They're non-voting and they're non-paid as well, correct? For the meeting? I was going to say, I think that should be, they shouldn't be, I mean, if those meetings are held during the day when they're on duty, they're at work, so they shouldn't be paid. That would be double paid. I think it would actually be illegal too, to be honest. So they can't be paid. That probably needs to be added in that. I'm not the designee, but I just know that.
Right.
Should we have our lawyer look into the pay structure, make sure that's illegal, or?
It is illegal. I mean, you can't get paid, you can't get paid while you're being paid.
So those meetings are unique. They are held during the day.
They meet during the day, during daily hours.
I think
10:30 or 11:30.
I think that Commissioner McCord can make a motion for approval and exempt those 2 people from
Okay.
compensation.
Sounds good. I'll do that then. Move for approval with the 2 fire chief and the sheriff designee to be non-voting and non-paid to be on that board, with the other 5 voting and paid.
Wait,
Do you mean the fire EMS representative?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said the chief. I thought we were saying, or the chief or their representative.
Okay,
Yes.
well, let me ask a question. What if the fire EMS is off duty that day and they have a meeting and they're not working that day?
The chief of fire EMS works Monday through Friday from.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said EMS personnel. I didn't know it was the chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess, all right,
Okay.
strike the first motion. Second motion will be move for approval with the sheriff designee, the chief of fire and EMS, to be non-paid, non-voting, and then the other 5 paid based on the other boards as well.
Okay. One quick question then to Kevin, because I don't know this answer. So the sheriff would be the sheriff then, correct?
Or designee.
Or
The designee is Captain Neil Smith. He worked Corolla for
Okay,
15
but
years.
He works Monday through Fridays,
Yes.
7 days a week. He never. Okay. That's,
Yes, the same as for fire
Okay, gotcha.
chief.
All right.
I'm going to ask one more question to clarify. Well,
Well,
Go ahead.
folks, we have a
right, I'll
motion. We don't have a second.
You
Can
want me to
we
strike
get
the
a
motion?
second, and we can have all the conversation
I'll
you want.
second it.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a proper second. Now, conversation and questions.
so we have 7 members on this board. Three members, 3 residents of Corova, 1 absentee property owner, which puts us at 4, and then the chief of Corova Beach Fire Department or his designee, the chief of the county fire and EMS, and then a member of the sheriff's department.
That's 7.
We've got a board that. So who votes in that?
The other 5.
The sheriff.
The volunteer fire
and
chief votes.
The
The volunteer
Yes,
fire.
the
Okay.
volunteer.
sheriff and the EMS director do not vote.
Okay, I'm just. Yep.
Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 12, we have struck because there are some changes that need to be made to that. Item 13, discussion and temporary board vacancy for District 5 Commissioner Moyak. For anyone who's not aware, Commissioner Etheridge has been out since May with some health issues. He sent a letter to us last month asking if he could take a leave of absence. There is a general statute that allows the Board of Commissioners to appoint someone in his absence until he comes back. So we will appoint someone to fill his slot, whether it be for 2 months, 3 months, a month, whatever. And then when he's ready to come back, he will retain his seat as if he had never left.
He requested until January, correct?
Yes. So the general statutes, is my understanding, does not specify how the board is to fill this position. Usually they tell us how to drink water, but this time they have not told us how to fill this position. So this is something I've never even heard of this being done before. So we're in new territory, and We have, I believe it was 14 applications. We need to adopt a process of how we're going to go through those applications, when we're going to interview the number of applicants, and when they would be sworn in to fill in for Commissioner Etheridge. So that's what we need to do tonight.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would make a suggestion to this board, and the board can approve or not, that each board member select their top 5, and then we, or I'm just saying top 5 maybe, and then we bring those individuals in for interviews at that point with the board, and then to help us finalize the selection. I mean, that's.
I have a similar suggestion that we, and I know a couple of us have had different ideas about it, but choose 5, as Commissioner Payment said, and send our 5 to our county attorney. Let her narrow it to 3, the top 3 vote getters, and interview those 3. And from there we choose. That way everybody has an equal voice as to the 5, and then the top 3 vote getters are the 3 that we interview.
I kind of like the 5 and 5, but send it to our county attorney and let her determine based on our 5 choices who got the most votes for the 5.
How about is the Commissioner Etheridge, so it's his seat that he's taken a leave of absence due to medical, will he have a vote? That's a question, would have been probably to the county attorney.
He is on a leave of absence.
Leave of absence, okay. I just was curious if he would have a vote or it would just be the 6 of us voting.
I default to what Ms. Jarvis had, turn in 5 and interview 3.
Are these 5 ranked in order?
Yes, I would suggest that you rank your 5, first being the top choice that you have, and down to the 5th. And once again, I'm sure our lists are not the same, but the top 3 vote getters then would be the 3 that we interview.
What if there was a tie? I mean, obviously there's 6 of us voting, so if there's a tie,
I mean, if there's 4 that are
because
equal.
2 of them were tied on equal, we would interview 4, I guess.
Then we
I
just
mean, that's-
interview 4 of them.
The 3 are just going to be the top 3. We're not necessarily ranking them as to.
oh yeah, I understand.
You just ranking your top 5, sending them in, and then she'll collate them down to the top 3, and then we'd interview those 3 in no particular order.
But what I was saying is 6 of us are voting. Say the top 3, or say there was a tie. Say I had somebody on my list that Commissioner Rose did, and that, you know what I'm saying, like there could be a tie.
If 3rd and 4th tied, we'd interview.
We'd
4.
interview 4. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, do 4. I don't, yes.
That's basically what I was
And
asking.
that might be a good idea. Do 4.
If there's a tie, then just.
No, if it's a tie, if there'd be a.
It's a tie. I don't think we need to.
That's what I just was
complicate
asking. Where
Well,
We're not
my
gonna
thoughts
paper,
on
rock,
5
scissors.
Is that's 1/3 roughly of the applicants. I think we've got some good applicants. So, but either way,
Maybe we're gonna pick 5 originally. Yeah.
Well, I would recommend that
5.
if we can decide on how many we're going to interview, that we also set a date next week to have those interviews, and then at that time, vote on who that person would be so that they can be sworn in the first meeting in November, and then they can be sworn at ever after.
Let the fun begin, right?
okay. So
could-
that's a
could
good
we-
idea to do this next week.
Could we?
That's good.
Could we do it next week?
Why not?
Vote, and then have them sworn in. That way, if there's any, access, computer, this, that, the other,
It'll be the public.
they can
Well,
get that done.
after
prior?
we vote and that person's accepted, the staff will, just like when
Okay.
you got elected, you
Okay.
got everything before you were sworn in.
Okay.
so you can get sworn out properly.
Yeah.
So if nobody's going to make a motion, I'm going to make
So
a
moved.
motion.
I got you, Mr. Chairman. So moved for what Commissioner Jarvis.
Well, let's be specific.
Yeah,
Maybe we
spell it
should
out.
make it.
Okay.
Spell it out.
I'm going to make a motion that each commissioner pick their top 5 by rank, send them in to the county attorney, let her collate them and pick the top 3, and then on Monday or Tuesday of next week, what's Monday's date?
27th.
Then on Monday, the 27th, we hold a special meeting at 5 o'clock, interview the candidates, and then vote on who our top candidate is.
Can you add, I don't know if we need to, I mean, do we want to set a timeline for us commissioners to have these in by Wednesday or Thursday?
This
Well,
week.
I would hope you'd
Friday
have
at the latest?
it in by Wednesday
Well, okay,
at
then,
least.
okay, then
Because I know we've all picked ours. So that is my motion.
Second.
Second. Do we have further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. So to restate that, Madam Manager, we're going to get, by Wednesday, we're going to get our top 5 ranked 1 through 5 to the county attorney. She will take the top 3, and then we will meet at 5 o'clock on the 27th for those 3. You staff notify those 3, and then we will interview them. We'll pick the interview time for whatever one, and then we'll vote, and then they'll be sworn in the first meeting in November. Does everybody agree on that?
I would just add and remind commissioners to not reply all, to send independently your votes to Megan.
Yes. All right, that's our motion and second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Or did we just vote?
We just did that.
We
We
did.
voted twice.
We doubled up.
Can't go wrong with Paul.
Item 14, consent agenda.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commissioners report, Mr. McCord.
I've been quiet at these for like 4 meetings in a row, so,
it's been
but we'll
so
still,
nice.
we'll still try to keep it like that movie Gone in 60 Seconds. Community night was, this Saturday, huge crowd, huge turnout. The sheriff's office we had at the high school. Dr. Lutz is here in the crowd. We cleaned the bathrooms, all the parking lot. There was no trash, so, I didn't get a nasty phone call today, so thank you, sir. Very well attended event, for kids, and there was a lot of neat stuff, and there's still more events coming up. The Mud Bog's November 8th. It got moved because of the weather. I'd like to thank William Nelson for helping us. There's tons of people you could thank for that event, and Planes and Plows got canceled, so we had a cool little drop of candy out of from the fire department from Crawford. That was very helpful, and it was very successful. It's cool to see kids having a good time, and parents will come out and spend money and do things for their kids. So, I think that's it for me.
All right, Mr. Angel.
So we had the Parks and Rec meeting that went well. They've got a bunch of projects that are underway. The Moyock playground, or the Shingle Landing playground, is back open. So that's one off their checklist. I went and looked at some of the damage caused by the recent nor'easter out on the Outer Banks last week. There are some areas of concern. Talked to some residents over there and stuff like that. One of the things that I've recently been asked is, do we have a manner in which to conduct cleanup after a storm of that magnitude? And if so, what is it?
We do. It depends on how much debris is on the beach as to whether or not our staff can handle that pickup, or if we need to contract with
Okay.
somebody to do that.
I don't know the amount of debris up and down the entire beach, but some of the stuff I saw, I think most of it could be handled via the staff. I just don't know the timeline on something like that, but there is debris kind of scattered about out that way. So, other than that, got nothing.
All right, Ms. Rose.
So I attended the Social Services Board meeting last week, and the big item that we discussed was Operation Santa Claus coming up for the county. Last year, they took care of Christmas for over 600 children. So they are asking for sponsors. You can sponsor one child, you can sponsor a family, you can donate money. They also tried to do food baskets for seniors in our community. You can give money. They buy gift cards. It's really important that if we can help, we do help, because without this program, a lot of children would not have Christmas. I've been getting a lot of questions about when are we getting a grocery store and when are we getting the drugstore? Why won't the commissioners let the drugstore open? Well, the grocery store, there's nothing we can do about that until we have somebody that wants to bring the grocery store here. Hopefully soon. They may be waiting on sewer. And then the drugstore, I did check with planning. I checked with county manager. They both told me that in January, Air County signed off on the occupancy certificate, correct? So that is up to, I believe Centera is going to operate that drugstore. We're waiting on them to open the drugstore. I've been out at a lot of the fall festivals. I attended the one at Moyock Elementary this week. Saw a lot of people out having a good time. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Moyock Baptist Church and LJ Beaners held a big event to raise awareness, and all of the funds raised went to someone battling cancer in Air County, Mrs. Daughtry. That was great. I saw the sheriff's department out there, fire department was there, Batman was there, a lot of our community folks there. And while I was at the Fall Festival Friday, I saw our library there. They had a table set up. So it's good to see that we're sharing what the county has to offer our citizens. And that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Payment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, let me just start off with saying that Griggs Elementary School this year was starting up a student council group, and it was for the fifth grade. They had elections, they went through the process, and I had an invitation to come and speak to the first meeting at Griggs Elementary School, and it was very enlightening for me to be able to talk to the young students, the young people in there, because that's the future. Those are the ones that are going to grow up and hope one day be sitting up here or state, federal, whatever. But they had a lot of interesting questions. They asked a lot of questions about government, more than I thought. I was in there a good 20 minutes answering questions about why I wanted to run. What do you do? What do people think about you? How do you run? They talked about ethics. They talked about other students doing unethical things during elections. It was amazing how in tune they were with politics and what was right and what was wrong, talking about being honest, listening to people. I mean, it was great. I was glad I could attend, answer questions, listen to them, and just being in there and listening to their comments and their questions made me feel so good about our future and that we have with our students out there. It was enlightening to see young people at that age in the fifth grade speaking like that and talking about wanting to do this later on. And then I got a card from them. Said, "Dear Mr. Payman, thank you very much for coming to Griggs Elementary, to sharing your wisdom experience with us from the Griggs Elementary School Student Council with all their signatures. This little card means so much to me. Just for growing up in the county here, and I told the kids, Griggs Elementary School is the elementary school I went to, sitting in the same cafeteria they ate at years ago.
A few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago, but the experience letting them know that, hey, been where you were at. So anyways, that was very touching to me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak. And I think some other individuals, Chairman O'Neill and some other school boards are going to be speaking eventually at their meetings as well. So be prepared for a very good time there. It was very nice. Secondly, I'd just like to say I went and did a tour of the school, the new elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
I was very impressed. Walking inside there, it's really detailed toward the students, to really make it an enjoyable learning environment in there. Very appeasing, good areas. The schools I've been into, this one is very, very well put together, and I think when it opens up and parents get to see it as well, I think they're really going to be excited, and I know the students are going to love that as well. I was amazed at how well put together it is. I was very impressed. So good job, school board and staff on that. And then I just want to say, I know there was a comment earlier about their internet wasn't up. Well, I think the whole county, even my office, this whole county's been having internet problems this whole week and today as well too. So apologize. It's nothing we're doing. It's just the good old internet service that we have in the county at the moment. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Ms. Jarvis?
Thank you. I had the privilege of attending a special training along with Commissioner McCord, several staff members, including our opioid settlement coordinator, Angie Lotman, our veteran service officer, and several other members, once again, of the advisory board. It was our interactive mapping training in preparation for creating a recovery court that the Opioid Advisory Board is working towards to help streamline the saving of lives. This process will be an accountability and recovery for people who are in the court system for drug offenses, a substance abuse disorder, and it is an important step in stopping recidivism, which is just a big word for repeat offenders. And it is exciting to see this move forward. Dare County has had a recovery court for 5 years, and they have had great success in helping to stop the opioid deaths, stopping repeat offenders, and getting people the help they need. And we are so thankful that Judge Trevette is taking the lead and helping us get this recovery court started here. Our next meeting of the Opioid Advisory Board, which is open to the public, has been changed. It is going to be November 13th. That's a Thursday at 3 o'clock. And our Public Defender's Office, our Assistant District Attorney, Judge Trevette, the Opioid Advisory Board, which includes law enforcement, substance abuse counselors, nurses. It is a great group. If you want to come be part of it and hear what's going on, I invite you to attend. It is a very exciting time, and it's not costing the taxpayers of Currituck County a thing. It is paid for through opioid settlement funds, which is exactly what those funds are designed to do, to save lives and get people out of the cycle of addiction and into recovery. And I'm very excited about the process, and I appreciate everyone who attended. I also want to ask you to keep people in prayers that are battling breast cancer. It is a month where we remember that. One of our own employees, Samantha Evans, whose husband works with the Sheriff's Department, she is battling cancer, as are many others in our county, our loved ones, our friends, and it is a month to keep that in mind and to work to find a cure and to save lives. And finally, as Commissioner Payment said, I just want to say that elementary school is incredible. I remember when we moved into the high school, we used to call it the new high school, but that was back in 1999. It was state of the art. Well, the technology in this new school, the safety features, the aesthetics, the thought going into every aspect of it is just incredible, and I look forward to opening it and getting the community there to see what a great, great school that's going to be. Thank you.
All right. I'll try to not take more than 15 or 20 minutes.
I was one of the short ones.
Yeah.
I want that noted.
You can get sent to the office.
I recently attended my first Albemarle Commission meeting as Commissioner Etheridge's replacement. Brought back a lot of memories. When I first got elected in 1994, they threw me on that board. And I drive to Hertford every month to those Albemarle Commission meetings, and they have the same mission and vision today that they had back then, serving the local community and helping with jobs training, and we used to get grants to help rehab houses. We don't do that anymore, but out of that meeting, there was a discussion about the state is assessing many counties that participate in the state health plan 2.5 surcharge. And as an example, I believe it was Pasquotank County said that was going to cost them an extra $500,000 they had not budgeted for. They didn't have a say in it. They just have to pay it. So I asked our manager about that, and fortunately, we are not a part of that health program, so we will not be paying. We will not be paying that. Another item of interest that came out of that is, as you know, the marine fisheries are constantly trying to find ways to put commercial fishermen out of business. So they tried with the shrimp a couple months ago. Now their latest one is on blue crab harvest. They are going to be meeting in November to try to shorten the blue crab season and the poundage that they can sell. And it's just a part of the continuation that they're doing. So Hyde County and the Albemarle Commission have already adopted I think Kill Devil Hills too, have adopted a resolution. So I asked the manager to prepare that for our next meeting to also adopt a resolution. We're lucky to have Ms. Rose on that special task force that was created. So we just want to make sure that we're offering you the support you need as you go and represent Currituck County and our fishermen. And if there's things that we need to do, you just need to let us know.
That is a good idea to pass the resolution. And the Marine Fisheries Commission meeting is in November at Wrightsville Beach, I believe. So I do plan to go to that and speak, but I think a resolution is great.
Yeah, and we're going to send it to not just our representatives, but the entire General Assembly and the governor.
It also needs to go to the Marine Fisheries Commission because they're the ones that are going to vote on this particular matter.
Okay. And then secondly, over the last several months, I've had a lot of phone calls and people contact me about economic development projects in Currituck County. And of course, I've been funneling those to Miss Futrell, who has been talking to those people. And I'll just tell you, there's a lot of possible things in the horizon that would be very exciting for Currituck County, but it's contingent on us being able to provide the wastewater. So I had spoken with the county manager about a timeline, and she wasn't sure that the engineer was far enough along to give us a timeline, like we'll have it ready and it'll be open on, March of 27 or December of 26. But she has worked with this is for public consumption. She is working with the engineers to get them to help develop a timeline, because I'm being told by many of the people that have an interest to come into Currituck to open a business, if they could just get a timeline, then their people can get committed and start with their planning and laying out what they're going to do so that they'll be ready when the wastewater system is ready. And, if the timeline's a month short or a month longer, at least they've got a timeline. So the county manager is working on that. And with that, that's all I have to report. And I'm going to allow the county manager now to give her report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I'll start first by sharing that Senior Health and Wellness Day is this Wednesday from 11 to 2 at the Barco Senior Center for anyone who wants to participate.
Oh, okay, 16 above. Okay, that includes you, Paul.
Yeah.
So that's this week. And so for Moyoc Regional, so I can give you a few, I do not have that timeline yet. We do have a meeting on Thursday, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to provide a timeline beyond that. So, there were really two issues that were shared with you before. The first was the disposal, and we were waiting to hear back from the Division of Environmental Quality to see if they were going to allow us to construct the disposal basins that were previously permitted in 2019. So we have received confirmation that we can do that. So we are working on that. The contractor is pricing those high-rate infiltration basins now. The capacity of those is 299,000 gallons per day. That's their capacity. So that's one thing. For the design build project for the construction of the new plant, we did come in September with the 30% plans or the design. It is beyond the budget that we have. So those plans we're looking at a 500,000 gallon per day plant, which was not what we initially discussed. However, they felt like based on growth projections that it may be important for us to look at that capacity plant. So now they're looking at some value engineering to bring us back down within our budget range. And so after Thursday, again, I am hopeful that we will have more for you.
I know what happened to the value engineering happened to the plant in Moac years ago. When they redesigned it, thought it was the state of the art, it got us in a lot of trouble. So.
Well, so we're looking at a few different options, and part of that would be whether we look at two trains that are equal to 250,000 gallons per day each, so that we could phase it. So we're just going in and looking at options right now so that we're able to construct the plant, bring it in, and if we have to phase and work our way up, we can do that. But ultimately, the goal obviously is to add capacity, and so that's what we'll be looking at.
What was the number amount that you said, if you don't mind me asking, you said y'all have a meeting Thursday.
We do.
I know the additional from what we have now, since DEQ now approved for the basins and all that to be used, what would be the additional? I know they're not going to give you the whole thing, but what would be the additional 150,000?
It would depend on what we went with. So if we end up looking at package plants that typically are in 100,000 gallon per day increments, it could be an additional 200,000 gallons per day. If we end up going with a different technology, it could be a 250,000 gallon per day train.
And one more question. So the additional plant that we have now that's been there since what?
The temporary mobile plant is 100,000 gallons per day.
And that one's the one that now they're going to give us the permission for the basins, correct?
Yes. So when we construct the basins, we will connect to the existing temporary mobile plant.
Ballpark on the basins? I mean, just a rough number.
I don't have
90 days?
I'm not sure.
But at least we know that we can use that now, because before we
Yes.
couldn't use that, correct?
Yes. That's great. That's great news.
The sewer is a popular question. So like I said, when
Yes,
people are trying to
it
bring
is.
business.
It's going to make a big difference, yes.
Yes.
I cannot emphasize how important it is that we get a timeline
Sure.
as soon as those engineers are prepared to give us one.
Yes.
We maybe know that Thursday then? You said y'all had a meeting Thursday. Is that with them?
Yes, I've got a meeting on Thursday.
So I would ask that you really, really, really make sure they know the commissioners want a timeline.
They know.
Make sure they hear it with their good ear. And then on the temporary plant that we have now, I noticed that Frost and Floor can do pump and haul. Why aren't we doing pump and haul? Or why can't we do pump and haul?
Well, they were doing pump and haul because they were under moratorium, so they couldn't add any additional capacity. That's a very costly alternative.
They had no choice.
They have more money than us.
Right. So they were under a moratorium, and they were given permission to pump and haul to add some additional units, additional dwelling units to that plant.
And
So
now they don't have to pump and haul anymore.
That's correct. Their moratorium was lifted.
They're just in good shape.
But we'll have some kind of, after Thursday, a better,
Okay.
thank you.
What else do you have, Madam
Yeah,
Manager?
that's it.
All right. Thank you for your report. And with that, I'm going to ask that we have a motion to recess our regular meeting and reconvene as the special meeting of the Tourism Development Authority.
So moved.
Moved. Second.
Motion, second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I believe we have the Tourism Director here tonight.
Mr. Chairman, there are budget amendments as the first item.
Okay. We'll do the budget amendments then.
Great. Yep. Tamara, will you click through? for the budget? Oh, nope, they're not there. Okay. So let me see. I'm not sure what page of the packet they're on.
They're on page 145.
Okay. All right. So there are 1, 2, 3. I believe
Five.
there's five. Yes, five budget amendments on this evening for Tourism Development Authority. Happy to answer any questions about those if you.
Do we have any questions? If not, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a motion for
Second.
approval? Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 3, marketing.
Now my turn. I want to thank you all for having me here tonight to brag on my team. I always love telling people what we're up to and where we're going and what we're doing. I also like to talk a lot, so if I become long-winded, I do understand this.
Put the lights on her. Get the buttons down there.
All right, so first of all, I wanted to give you a branding update, and I did give you all a little travel mug with that brand new logo on it, so I hope you enjoy that. The new brand was launched in March of 2025, and this was followed by our website launch in June of 2025. And our in-market app was also updated. If you take a look at the map that I have up on the screen, you can see that Currituck County is basically 3 separate land masses, none of which are connected to each other. This always presents a challenge for us from a geographical standpoint in how do we brand all these 3 areas together in a cohesive manner, and each one has its own unique and distinct visitor experiences. So after a lot of discussion and Chandler thinks doing a lot of focus groups and a lot of surveys and a lot of data, that's how we came up with our Northern Outer Banks brand. Most importantly, it claims our portion of the Outer Banks, which is the Northern Outer Banks. So we're very, very happy with this. Also, if you do go to our website, which is northernouterbanks.com, we have started a new section on owned media. And we have our first docu-series out there. It's 8 episodes on the wild horses. And we've also started our new podcast series. That's bi-weekly. And we've talked to Mrs. Snowden about the history of Currituck County. We have a podcast on the lighthouse. We have a lot of exciting podcasts coming up. So that does reside on our website for our visitors and for our residents to see. Wanted to talk a little bit about the economic impact of the 2024 visitor spending. This is the 2024 season. We're always a year behind as we wait for our seasonal updates from Visit NC in August. So in August of 2026, we'll find out what happened in 2025. But we're still very, very vibrant. We're still generating a lot of income and direct tourist spending. As you can see, over $580 million in 2024. And all this visitor spending does translate to sales tax money that is used by the county to enhance the county's quality of life, and it also lowers the property tax. This is just a little snapshot of the yearly activity. So as you can see, $580 million in direct tourist spending, but more importantly, it translates to $106,860,000 per year in worker income and paychecks. That's very important to us. You can see the combined and local state taxes, how much was local and how much was state. I broke that down for you. And tourism created 2,507 jobs in 2024. I love this little graph because it gives you a snapshot of how we've grown in direct tourism spending. I only included 2010 up to 2024. I do have more data than that, but I tried to get it into a little bite. You can see where COVID hit in 2020, And you can see how we jumped from 2020 to 2022. We continue to go into 2023. We are starting to level off and normalize, which was to be expected. But we are still a little bit ahead, and we're very happy about that. This is just a little brief snapshot, and please don't get confused because I'm going on fiscal years. So when you see 6/30/2025, it's really that, it's last summer compared to this summer. So this year, cumulatively, we're up 0.67% from June to August comparatively. So we're running in place a little bit. We're not losing, which is awesome. We're a little bit ahead. So as long as we continue this growth pattern, especially in this normalization period, we're very, very pleased with that. Anybody have any questions as I'm going through this, please? I know y'all well enough to know you will ask. I am going to turn this over right now to Alex Perry, who is our Marketing and Communications Director, and he is going to tell you a little bit about our marketing.
Thank you, Tamara. Good evening, Commissioners. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good. I'm going to go a little bit over our marketing plan for the year. First, I want to break down who are our visitors. And we use 3 research studies to define who our target audience is. The first one is our destination research study. We've used this for several years now, and this was done with partnership with Chandler Thinks. And this basically tells us who our target audience is. And so our target audience, as we know, are females. They're the main decision makers in the family for vacation. They're aged 35 to 64. They have a high household income of $125,000 plus, and they're looking for beach vacations. So that's the first part of our research that we take into consideration for advertising. We also look at keyword information or behavioral data to figure out the keywords we'll use in some of our search campaigns. And then we finally look at our booking data. We use a platform called Key Data, and this pulls all the vacation rental information into the platform, tells us the top states, the top zip codes that we should advertise to, all the booking information. And from that, we know that our feeder markets, our key feeder markets that we advertise to, 72% of these bookings come from these 7 states: Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio, New Jersey, New York, and North Carolina. Because they hold that top 72%, instead of wasting dollars on other states, we target those particular states. We also look at the zip codes, the top zip codes for booking. And then again, we just use all that data to figure out who we're going to target for our advertising. We also advertise locally in market in northeastern North Carolina, primarily Dare County. And the main use of this is for day trippers who might be down in Dare County. We want them to come north, experience all the attractions we have in our area: dining, restaurants, shopping. So now we're going to look at how do we reach these visitors. So for our budget, we have a little bit more than $3 million for advertising. We allocate this budget by trying to find the media channels that fit each of those 7 states that I mentioned and the demographic information that I provided to you earlier. The budget is split in the following media categories: 46% is digital, 18% goes towards print, 8% for billboards, 6% radio and local cable, 6% is other, and what that means is a lot of that budget goes towards our visitor guides, a lot of the printed material we have in-house. It also goes towards the Outer Banks Golf Association for advertising the African American experience of northeastern North Carolina, the advertising for that. 1% goes towards our travel shows and our media missions that we have. And then the remainder, which is roughly 15%, goes towards our TV buys. And we use Love Advertising. They're our main agency for our digital advertising as well. We use them to do those TV buys. And for those TV buys, we use Connect TV, Linear TV, and then we contract out some of our video services. Before I get into the different media channels that we advertise to, with all of our campaigns, we're focused on brand awareness, trying to get our new name out there, the Northern Outer Banks, the new logo, the new brand. All of the photography ads that we do are focused on that. But they're also focused on driving traffic to our website. But once they get to the website, we really want them to take action. And that action is called conversions. So I'm just going to define what a conversion is for you guys. So a conversion is a specific action taken on a website that supports a business goal. Unlike most business to consumer models, we are very different because we don't have a direct sell or buy. We don't have a booking engine on our website. Instead, we're trying to inspire travel and also to inspire others to get our visitors to go to the local businesses that are on our website. So a conversion for us in tourism would include a click to the Plan Your Visit widget on our website. It would include signing up for an e-newsletter on our website. It would include requesting a visitor guide or a wedding guide. And then the last thing that we use to figure out our conversions is a click on accommodations, because we know at that point they're looking to book. So if they come to our website and convert, we do not advertise to them anymore. At that point, they've already taken the actions that we've wanted them to take. And there's a high percentage that if they took one of those actions, more than likely they're going to come to our destination. If they come to our website and don't convert, we will retarget them ads no matter what state they're located in. So we talked about those top 7 states previously. So that's mainly who we're advertising to. But if somebody comes from a different state that we're not advertising to, they come to our website, we're still going to retarget them ads if they did not convert. I also want to just go through these media channels you see here, see here on the screen that we promote to. We are running 3 main campaigns this year: the fall campaign, our holiday campaign, and our spring-summer campaign. The spring-summer campaign is about to start. We will start rolling that out in November. That campaign will go through April, and then we will continue with search campaigns through June. And then the main media channels that we're advertising on: digital, we primarily use paid social ads. This would be Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest to target people. We do display ads. This is based on behavior and interest. And then we do search campaigns on Google. With all the digital campaigns, we target those top 7 states. Like I said, if they come to our website, we will retarget them ads no matter what state they're from. We also do print advertising. We review publications based on the demographic information that I said to y'all previously. We look at the readers, where the states are that those readers are at, and the zip codes that they are located. The top magazines that we run our print ads in are Southern Living, Garden and Gun, Real Simple, Our State, Virginia Living, New Jersey Magazine, Southern Lady, Philadelphia Magazine, Baltimore Magazine, and others. But it's not just print in these publications. We also are doing social ads through them. We're doing online articles, and we're also doing display ads through these publications. We are also buying connected TV ads this year. We are using, these are basically their streaming networks on smart TVs. And we're going to advertise on the premium networks, including Netflix, live sports and events channels. We will be on Disney Plus and Hulu. The other 30% of our TV buy will be on YouTube. And we will also be running local linear TV ads in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. For radio, we are working with Curtis Media Group to promote our destination on streaming radio channels using AI and behavioral targeting to make sure that they are aligning with our target audience. We've already been using this campaign, and we are mainly seeing our listeners on a lot of podcast channels. For billboards, this is not just the traditional billboards that we have in market, but they also include buses and metro rail stations in the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, and Baltimore markets. And we are also advertising in airports with static display ads at baggage claims in the Philadelphia Airport, Dulles in D.C., LaGuardia in New York City, and the John Glenn Airport in Columbus, Ohio. And then last, we're doing 3 travel shows and media shows this year. One planned in Washington, D.C., one in New York City, and the last one is going to be, well, we've actually already had it. It was in Raleigh with a media mission we're doing there. And then this last slide I want to show you, last year we did a brand partnership, and we decided to do it again this year. This year we're going to be partnering with Hobie. Hobie is known for their kayaks, their sunglasses, and apparel, and their target audience fits with ours. We are doing a vacation giveaway through Hobie to increase brand awareness to our destination with their audience. We are planning to receive at least 30,000 entries into the giveaway. The campaign will feature branded social media posts, branded display ads, clicks to our website, and leads from the vacation giveaway. We also had 2 social influencer campaigns from the Hobie team already, and a content creator who will be supplying us video and photography assets for future promotional use. We did a similar campaign last year with Brewmate tumblers and coolers and received over 80,000 clicks to our website and over 30,000 giveaway entries and several thousand e-newsletter signups. All of our campaigns this year, beyond just brand awareness, are measured based on website clicks and completed videos. And just to give you a rundown of what performance we had last year, our digital campaigns gave us over 77 million impressions. We had 534,000 paid clicks to our website and over 12,000 conversions, and a total of roughly 790,000 total clicks to our website last year. So that's all I got. I'll hand it back to Tamara. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I really like that we're using buses for advertising besides your standard billboard, something that we've talked about a lot of times. We can use it at other places. There's a lot of revenue that we're missing out on locally.
There's been talk in the past of maybe even using our activity buses, you know.
That's what I'm referring to.
Now that we're a 5A school, you know, we're traveling much further than we have in the past.
We're doing shows in Raleigh. We're right down the road from it where we're traveling. So that's
And
some.
I think we've had a legal opinion about, since I've been on the board since December, about 37 times that we cannot do that.
That's correct.
So we can ask Megan for another determination. It'll be number 38.
We're doing it now anyway.
Next.
Okay,
Are we
as
not?
you can see, we get really excited by all this data. I know some of it is a little bit dry, but we're constantly crunching numbers. We're constantly pivoting our advertising. Just so you know, we always go into our new year with a little cushion in our occupancy and promotions, so that if we see bookings are down in certain areas or our businesses need a little help, we do have some money there so that we can also buy additional campaigns to help with that. So we just love all this data. I'm just going to quickly now just give you a couple of updates about what we're doing. We have a new employee, Cameron Bello. She started as our historic Corolla Park operations manager. So glad to have her on board. She's already running and getting contractors to come in and give us estimates on new carpeting in the WRC and some other things just in her first week. So we're really excited about that. If you remember, you all voted on event grants. So we awarded 10 event grants this year, totaling $140,000 in funding. And all of these events are great. Some of them have already happened. Some of them are still waiting to happen. America 250. We've been working on this for a while. We've already started. Currituck County does have a committee. We were also awarded 2 grants to assist in funding 2 projects. The Betsy Dowdy Ride, which was a 4-county initiative, which is great. When we can get counties together doing things together, it's just a wonderful feeling. And also the John Jasper White statue. Just a little update, the John Jasper White statue is scheduled to go to the Foundry in November. We are told by the Foundry it might be ready in April. The sculptor and I think we're probably looking at May or June. So he is about to go off and get created. I'm so excited. Barbara Snowden and I got to go see it in Raleigh in the artist studio, and I do have to admit I knew I was going to, but I cried when I saw it because it was like meeting John Jasper White after all this time working on him. Also, Tony Seri, who is a member of our Currituck America 250 North Carolina Committee, is also working on a statewide lighthouse project. We do need to get together because he's got some ideas and how all these lighthouses on the North Carolina coast are going to work together for America 250. We also installed 2 new markers and a new interpretive sign commemorating the Dunstan family and their contributions. This was installed in Currituck Community Park, along with a new roadside marker honoring the legacy of Currituck Union at Central Elementary. And we unveiled both of these at the Juneteenth celebration, which was held on June 14th. Also, both of these signs have become part of the African American experience of Northeastern North Carolina, so they are on that website too. Whalehead, I know I've had some questions about where are we with Whalehead restoration. Well, we have contracted with Jeffrey Lees as our restoration architect. He was also our restoration architect for the boathouse. He has a deep and abiding love for historic Corolla Park and Whalehead. His daughter was married there. So he has been finishing up his CAD drawings based on the drawings that we provided for him. In 2 or 3 weeks, he will be out to do measurements of the house, to line them up with the CAD drawings, make sure there's not a lot of discrepancy, at which time he will be able to start on the meat of the project, figure out what needs to be done, what needs restoration, what needs repair. So we are on track with that. We did hire a historic researcher. We're expecting her report back anytime for the historic jail. And we had a researcher come in because we don't have a lot of stories about the jail, about actual things that happened there. So she is looking at jails similar to ours in history in North Carolina so that we can hone down what stories we want to tell in that jail when we do actually do the restoration, and what stories we want to tell and what kind of interpretive media we want to use to tell that story. And also, the Northern Outer Banks, along with Mike Martini of Eye Candy Digital, received a Telly Award for our Make It Your Nature video. It's a really lovely little video. I hope you have a chance to see it. If you need a link, just let me know and I will send it to you. This is just a picture of the 2 signs that we install. As you can see, Coco Dunstan is with the Dunstan Family Legacy sign, interpretive sign. And also there is a shot of the Currituck Union School sign. They were both very moving. The alumna and alumni of Currituck Union School were all gathered around that sign singing their school song, and they had a gathering inside the school where they were looking at old yearbooks and signing things and just getting together. It was just a lovely day. Upcoming events, Currituck Bowls and Barbecue, November 1st, that is sold out. The Whalehead Candlelight Christmas Tours are also sold out. They went pretty fast. The 10th annual Christmas Craft Village is the first Friday after Thanksgiving annually, so that's on board. It's a great time for families to come out, do a little early Christmas shopping, and Santa Claus is always there. So please come and see us. And also, one of the grants that I talked about is the Kerala Village Holiday Market, which is going to be Friday and Saturday, November 28th and 29th. And this is something new that we haven't really started. We've started a little bit of advertising, but we are partnering with the Currituck Beach Lighthouse to bring Joseph Smith in. He is an actor who performs a history performance of Augustine Fresnel through a new lens. And the Fresnel lens is what is in our lighthouse. So that ought to be a lot of fun. That is free, and that's going to be the 29th and 30th of November at the Wildlife Resource Center. And that's all I got.
Any questions? I have a brief, quick question for you.
Sure.
That 250 celebration, is that a county celebration? Is that a regional celebration? Is that a statewide? What is
It's
that?
a national celebration.
Oh, I didn't go
America
far enough.
250 has its.
You're right there.
Stopped at the state.
America 250 is an encompassing program. Each state has its own America 250 program going on. Ours, the America 250 North Carolina, is being administered by the North Carolina State Natural Resources and Cultural Department. I think I got that right, NCDOR I call it. So they've been giving out some grants. They've been bringing people in, lots of ideas, lots of things going on within the state. But America 250 is not just about 1776. It's about before. So it actually, the Halifax resolves really kind of kicked it off for North Carolina back about a year ago. And it really goes through present day. It's not only about how we attained our freedom, but how they're pillars of community. Who are we? Where did we come from? Where do we want to go? So it's about a 30, I mean, it's a long, long stretch of time where these events can take place. But of course, 1775 and 1776 are where it all starts. And Betsy Dowdy, unfortunately, Betsy was not able to ride on October 12th due to the weather. Betsy is probably going to ride in April, but she originally took her journey back in December 9th of 1775. So we were hoping to do it in this year, but unfortunately she will be riding a little later, and hopefully the weather will be great, and she'll be ending up in the Newbold White House. And the fourth Betsy from Perquimans will ride in and will proclaim that General Skinner needs to hie himself to Great Bridge because the British are coming. Our own Bobby Hennig will be portraying General Skinner. And also, we will have a militia encampment there that day, along with a lot of activities and a lot of demonstrations around colonial life in our area in 1776.
Mr. Chairman, can I say one thing too? Where she stated about the golf, like for years and years, we've been like number 2 to Myrtle Beach for golf packages. Next week is the annual collegiate golf tournament at Kilmarlock Golf Course, which Harold Varner III, who has like $30 million plus of career earnings from the PGA Tour and the Live Tour, he won that event probably 15 years ago, maybe. So that's a pretty big tournament where they have tons of Division I schools. All they come here and they play golf, and there's like huge notable names that have won money in that event.
Only if we had a hotel
Yeah,
here.
if we had a hotel, they would be.
Well, we partner with the Outer Banks Golf Association, so we do give them a pocket of money.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's good. It's that off-season money that we generate. I just wanted to note that.
It is amplified amazingly by Martin Arms, who heads that up in terms of the advertising that he gets for us with our golf courses in Currituck County and also
And Dare.
with Nags Head Woods. So it's ours and Nags Head Woods. So he does a phenomenal job in getting that out. And we have noticed a resurgence in golf during COVID because it was an outdoor activity. People can enjoy it and still be out. And it introduced golf again to a lot of young people. So I live in the Carolina Club, and I'm seeing golfers all the time, which I did not see before. So that's very, very encouraging. to see everybody out there and just to see this rediscovery of a great sport.
All right.
I got a
Go ahead.
No, you just made me think about something. And with all the great information you just provided, with all the stuff going on in the county, the events, the tournament coming to Kilmarnock, would any of this information be beneficial to send out to some hotel chains to let them know, hey, look what our tourism department is doing? You maybe want to reconsider looking at this county with everything we got going on, because I don't know if we ever do that with them or not, but.
Not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I mean, I know we do everything else, but I don't remember recall us ever sending out, something how our tourism is doing, because that might, just a thought.
We do get inquiries.
Okay, from hotel chains?
We will occasionally have a business call us, I don't know a hotel chain specifically, but will call us and ask us about activity and how we come up with our statistics on visitation. That's always that's slippery data to get a hold of, because property management companies keep things a little bit close to the vest. So what we do, or what I do every year, is I go in and do an inventory of all the properties that are available for rent. So not how many bedrooms, it's how many properties. And we have currently a little over 2,700 vacation rentals that are managed by property management companies. Airbnbs or VRBOs, unless they're being managed by a company, are hard to grab because some of them are private. But I take that figure of a little over 2,700 and I multiply it by 8 bedrooms. That's kind of an average, because we'll go all the way from 26 to 4. So I average about 8. And then I put 2 people in each bedroom. So each property is generated, let's say 16 people. We know that's probably a lot greater, because we know that usually there's not 2 people per bedroom. But again, we have no way of grabbing that information. But it kind of gives us a good idea of how many people are coming in and how many people are coming out during the high season. So we do provide that to our businesses. That I also look at campgrounds. For example, the campsite does have to pay occupancy tax on a RV rental or a cabin. They don't on an unimproved campsite. So I figure that into the mix too, along with our hotels that we have in the number. Now that's easy because I know exactly how many bedrooms they have. So that's a little easier. But we do provide that information, and I do try to update that every year, because homes are built. Some are going into private inventory and are no longer in the vacation rental market. So there's a little bit of flux there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's good information. So we need a motion to adjourn the special meeting of the TDA and reconvene
Mr. Chairman,
as the special meeting of the Ocean Sands Water and
there
Sewer.
was one additional item on the agenda. If you'd like to, I was going to give a brief update on some projects.
I thought that's what she did.
I've got a little bit more if you'd like to hear.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be brief.
Well, briefly give us an update.
Sure. Well, we've got more good news to share. As you all are well aware, we are working with NC State, the Institute for Transportation Research and Education, and they are conducting a vehicle use and access study in the off-road for us. The cameras collected data from June to the beginning of October, and they are currently compiling and analyzing that video data. They are also working on visitation results using Placer AI, and are hopeful that they'll have some information to us here shortly to at least identify some patterns, so we can start looking at that. Also wanted to provide an update on the Corova Beach boardwalk repairs. We are expected to advertise this week, and this is for replacement of a portion of the boardwalk at Corova Beach Park. Corolla Visitor Center, we have not issued a request for qualifications yet, but that will be a request for qualifications for design that will likely be issued later this year. This is located on the 10-acre site in Corolla where the Corolla ABC store was constructed. And I just wanted to remind everyone that we can construct the visitor center using tourism promotions funding, which is a little different from what we normally use for projects. The Corolla Greenway from Albacore to Dolphin, so this is in the Monterey Plaza area. This project is currently under design. The existing greenway terminates at Albacore, and the new piece of greenway, which is just over a quarter of a mile, will connect up at Dolphin Street to the Monterey Shores path there on the opposite side of the road. So this project will require some easement acquisition and will also likely require some utility relocations, which is why it's taking a little longer through design. And we anticipate solicitation of bids in the summer of 2026 with construction in the fall of 2026. The Whalehead walkover replacements. This year we are looking to replace the walkovers at Tuna and Herring. We are finalizing bid documents and hope to have the bid opening in early December. The Shad Street walkover, we will continue with design on that. This is a larger easement there at 60 feet. There was a conflict with access to a well, so we're working through that, and that project will be constructed over the next season.
Rebecca, I'm sorry to interrupt. Were any of the walkovers damaged by the hurricane or nor'easters?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
I think there was some trees stuff, but nothing of any significant.
Trees?
Like tree limbs, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not trees.
Thank you.
limbs.
over.
Sorry
Yeah,
to
limbs.
interrupt. I was just curious.
Sure. And that's it, unless you have any other questions about tourism-related projects.
Nope. Paul, it's all you now.
Yes, ma'am. And now I need a motion to adjourn
So
the
moved.
special meeting of the TDA and reconvene as the Ocean Sands Water and Sewer District, which should take less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
There is one budget amendment on the agenda this evening for Ocean Sands. This is a carry forward budget amendment from last fiscal year.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Right. So you all had previously requested that we go back and gather some additional information about the Ocean Sands Water and Sewer District Advisory Board. So tonight, I'm going to provide you with some additional information and look for some direction on how you would like to reconstitute this board. The board, well, it's been called a board. We are not able to find that it was ever created by resolution or within the Code of Ordinances, and that may be because the settlement agreement refers to it as an advisory committee. And I can read you the language from the settlement agreement, but the board shall establish an advisory committee to receive information from and make recommendations to the Board of Commissioners on all aspects of the district's operations. The advisory committee shall consist of at least 3, but no more than 5 members, and its composition shall be designed to ensure input from those most affected by the operations of the district. The committee's membership shall include at least 1 member recommended by the Ocean Sands Property Owners Association and 1 member recommended by Coastland. So this board has not met since September of 2018. When the board, at the last meeting, there were 4.
It was a committee though, right? Not a board.
Well, it's generally referred to as the board.
Okay.
The settlement agreement defines it as a committee.
Okay.
So we will be happy to take direction on that from
Is there a
you.
legal difference in board versus committee? I know.
I know that I can answer that. I think it's
highly-
committee sounds more informal to me than an actual.
I highly advise that whatever that settlement agreement says is what we do to the letter.
So just keep it as a committee and
Well,
no change anything.
You can call it a board if you want to, but whatever verbiage is used in that settlement agreement, I recommend we continue to use it.
You just identify as a committee.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine.
So at the time of the last meeting, there were some individuals I'll just identify the folks that were on the advisory committee at the time. Marty Reagan, Roger Green, Terry Anderson, and Braxton Hill. So there was one vacancy. Mr. Hill, my understanding is that Mr. Hill has passed. And so there are then 3 individuals that are still available to participate. Now, we did receive some information from Coastland's business manager suggesting that she would be the representative from Coastland, and that Marty Reagan, who is the Community Association manager of Ocean Sands POA, could serve on the committee. So you all have, and I believe the clerk has 1 or 2 additional applications on file for that committee. You all are able to decide whether or not you would like the committee to be comprised of 3 members or 5 members. Obviously, if it's of 3 members, then there is 1 representative from Coastland, 1 from Ocean Sands POA, and then 1 that you all choose. If there are 5, then you all have more choices or more members to appoint.
I think 5 is standard across the boards.
So you're telling me that Coastland does not get a majority on that board? That's the way it's always operated in the past.
No.
Yeah.
According to our papers, it was 3 board appointed, 1 property owner, 1 Coastland. The paper that Leanne gave us at that worksheet, or at the work session on advisory boards, that's what that paper said.
It may in the past have worked that way, but when you read strictly from the language, the committee's membership shall include at least 1 member recommended by the POA and 1 member recommended by Coastland.
And then the other 3 by the county board of commissioners.
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
1 to 3,
Right.
okay.
Make it a 5-member board like the rest of them.
Yep, and then we got 3 selections to make then.
And then put out that we need some recommendations,
Okay.
some applications.
So the folks that were serving at the time, Mr. Reagan, if he continues as the POA representative, Mr. Green and Mr. Anderson, would you like us to reach out to Mr. Green and Mr. Anderson and see if they are still interested
Well, I think
in
we should.
serving?
That's been that long,
and-
we should.
Yeah, maybe they should fill out an app.
I mean, are their terms
Refund.
expired?
Well, there are, that's the other thing, there's no defined terms.
Okay, then I think we should probably reach out to those people and see if they're interested in serving on the board again, or the committee again,
Continuing.
continuing
Serve.
to serve.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it active again, get ready.
All right. What else you need from us?
Okay. I believe that's it. So you'd like to remain at a 5-person committee?
Yep.
We will reach out to
Got advertised.
the individuals who were serving at the time of the last meeting.
And submit new applications if we have any.
Okay. And then,
Good?
That works for me.
okay. Any
right.
other questions about that?
Nope.
Nope.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Are we allowed to adjourn now?
Yes, sir.
Well, temporarily.
Yeah. I need a motion to adjourn the special meeting of the Ocean Sands Water Sewer District Board and reconvene our regular meeting.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right, and now I'm going to make a motion that we go into closed session pursuant to NC General Statutes 143-318.11A3 to consult with the county attorney and preserve the, well,
Mr. Chairman,
yeah, we're not doing
In the
that.
county.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if we are going to do any other line of business, the young gentleman that you said, we can
Yeah,
take
as
the
soon
picture
as
if you want to do
we-
that.
As soon as we do this, we'll take the picture before we go
Okay.
in there.
Yeah, we'll do that after, yeah.
Just
I just want to
Let
remind
me
you.
read the real cheat sheet. Need to revise closed session motion to contain only the discussion pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 143-318.11A4 to discuss matters related to the relocation or expansion of business or industry within the county. That's my motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.